So I'm going to demonstrate the 10-step EMP protocol for you, and I will be speaking about the science behind it and understanding about it, about the protocol and why the protocol in a completely different video. So you will be able to see that in the link below. So whenever that's ready, we'll put that out. But here I'm only showing you what the 10 steps EMP protocol is going to be, and how can we support mother's milk supply, increase in milk supply and change in that, and also take care of other issues that may come around it, issues with engorgement, and issues with not being able to take out the colostrum right after birth, so postpartum stages, early postpartum stages. So we are going to look at that here, right? And so if mother's struggling through that, so first step we start is called the navel priming. So what would be good to take is a few drops of castor oil. So you put a warm castor oil into your arms, a little bit of it, and then you apply it in the center of the navel, and then do a gentle massage in the navel area. Okay, so approximately about a minute of work will be more than sufficient. Then the step 2 is called the suture rub, which is the sutures, and it's opening up the sutures in the cranium, because the cranium is very important portion of where all the hormones and everything from the pituitary gland is then going to come back. So we are basically tracing all the autonomous system to be regulated. So we want to do a little bit of massage in the cranium, like around the sutures here. So it's like a little chumpy that you do in normally just a little massage. So basically those sutures are to be covered as much as possible, very, very, very gently, allowing the mother to feel calm, and then just using your fingers deep into her hair, into the head area, really relaxes the mother and also opens those gentle spaces around the sutures. And then comes the ear sweep. So the vagus nerve passes through the sides of the cranium from here, and it innervates into different areas, allowing rest and digest to occur. So we want to engage with that whole process. There's a lot of innervation right behind the ear. So go behind the ear and actually do a nice ear sweep around the corner of the ear, just like that. So when you do this, what's important to recognize is to have a fulcrum. You use the fingers to support around here, and then use this thumb to come here. So every time you work on different areas of the body, what I want you to consider is to basically have stability of hands. And how can I do that? So when I'm on sutures, I want to use the fingers to support and use the thumbs to go along the different sutures in the cranium. Similarly, I want to use these gentle fingers around the face of the mother and go behind the ear and support only using the thumb. So it's this way. You're just doing this way, right? So once that's done, the ear sweep for about a minute or so, you can do the Sternocleidomastoid muscles relaxation around this area. So this is how we want to come forward, including, so the thumbs become your resting point around the neck area, and then using your fingers you come downwards this way, right? And so once that is done, you move to the 5th step, which is called the spine walk. So I'm going to turn my anatomical model here just to show you. So the spine starts right from here, which is this. You can't really touch the C0 and 1, which is the atlas axo kind of axis there, but right below at the base of your skull here, you can actually move, starting from your cervical spine, moving. So you're using your other fingers, all the 4 fingers on either side, like a butterfly, around here very gently, and moving only the thumb. So this is how you would walk. So this is called the spine walk, and you move right around the thoracic vertebrae and coming to the lumbar area and coming down to the sacral area, right at the bottom. So you want to cover this up. So you can do this once or twice so that it covers about a minute of your work on the spine walk, and then we move to the cervical massage. So that's going to be like around this area. So using your 4 fingers, again the 4 fingers here on 4 fingers on the right and left, you're keeping the shoulders around here and using the thumb to kind of massage around this area. Very gently, just opening that whole area and getting the vagus nerve to kind of start to function, elicit some messages right down and start to send some very, very nice hormones right down. And so all of these things become, these muscles here around which innervates all those nerves actually become tight, and usually when we are stressed out, these are the areas that are tightened up. So we want to open those areas up. And then we have the trapezius disc. So you have the shoulder blade right here, the shoulder blade. So use your fingers here and go around the shoulder blade, right from here, right the swing here, swinging right from here to come down here. So around the shoulder blade, this covers the T2 to T5 area, the thoracic 2nd vertebra to 5th vertebra. So covering up all of that areas. And then we move to the 8th step, which is the branchial plexus massage. So there's this big branchial plexus nerve that actually innervates right underneath into the arm. And so underneath the arm is where you go deep in and actually massage underneath like that. If you watch what I'm doing here, this is what I'm going to do. It's not very visible in this, but that's how it will be easily done. Do not forget that the breast tissue comes right into the upper axilla area. So it's not just in the front. So it really, like, you know, the back portion, the tail portion of the breast actually comes into the axilla area. So we want to work on that. And then we move to the footwork. So in this particular model, I don't have the foot, so I'm going to show it in my feet. So when you do the footwork, which is basically the 9th step, you want to work in the V of these 2 toes, the big toe and the 2nd toe. Between that, there is a depression there. So you want to work, you use these fingers to support and then go deep in and work upwards. So these have some very important points that can open up the signaling towards the autonomous nervous system, and the vagal tone starts to increase. The vagal tone actually starts to go, you know, better, the tone. So you can do this on both this way for about a minute or so. And then we want to move to the 10th step, which is basically the breast stimulation, massage, and then the you know, you can also kind of combine the RPS basically. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about how we're going to use the massage on the breast. Usually we use the fingers to kind of work around the breast. So instead of using the fingers, which a mother can be a little bit painful, she's sore because right after birth, right postpartum stage, she's very, very tender in her body. So you want to use the ulnar surface of your hands. This is the area that is a large portion of your hand. And so when you use this, you have a better surface area contact, and also it's much more comfortable on a breast which is hot and quite engorged actually. So you can use this one to come underneath the breast here, using my hand here to support the mother's body, the torso or the body here, and then use this from behind her and then work inwards using my surface of my hand here, around this, around that, and then around this area. So this if the mother's sitting down, it's easier for us to work. This structure is a little up for me, so it's not the most comfortable, but it's going to work easily. If she's lying down, you can do that, or if she's sitting down in that area, in a lower chair, you can easily work around it. So you want to work all around the breast, and then you start to kind of work in the breast, which you can use any of the methods of the massage, whichever you've learned, and you can use that method to kind of start expressing the milk. So you'll notice that when we are doing expression of the milk, we are often just working on the breast area, doing the massage and, you know, starting to stimulate the breast and trying to, start to express the milk. But here it's the 10th step of the entire protocol. Why are we doing all the 10 steps? The 10 steps allows us to trace back all the material, that information that needs to come from the nervous system and the brain and the pituitary glands, tracing it into the entire body and then coming towards it. Because that material needs to come down. All of that signals need to be coming down. So we're working with the polyvagal theory to engage with the autonomous nervous system to regulate it and to be able to use that information in our protocol, which is a 10-step protocol. Thank you.